it was a lot of crazy shit going on the past couple of days, okay? First of all, it was almost like the apocalypse came, or the end of the world, or, I guess if you had to imagine what the end of the world looked like, I guess November 6th uh, was a good example of it. So there were some bad Santa Ana fires, right? That compromised a lot of people's homes, like a lot. Like, I was watching the news at this bar and grill, and I saw all of these homes just burnt to the ground. A lot of people had to be hospitalized and stuff. So a lot of places were evacuating. Now, um, the place where I was at, the hotel where I was at, they evacuated everybody because like the power outage went out. This was November 6th. I guess close to 1 p.m. November 6th, 12-ish in the afternoon, 1 p.m. So everybody had to get out. And so, they were like, oh, it's a fire, it's an emergency. There was no fire near the actual motel, but you could see it like in a distance. Now, all of the other surrounding hotels weren't evacuating people. They were allowing them to stay in, and they were even accepting newcomers to come and stay in the hotels. But the specific one where I was at, it told everyone they had to go. So there were a lot of power outages in a lot of different hotels. But even the ones that had the power outages, they still allowed the people to stay in, and they still accepted new people to come in or whatever. So I thought it was interesting that the one we were staying at, made everybody leave. But oh, you know what? I also wanted to say a happy belated birthday to my Aunt Leola Shorter. Um, I wanted to do a tribute on her actual birthday, November 6th, but my phone service like died. It went out. Like, I didn't have a phone the 6th, it didn't, like, maybe in the afternoon on November 7th it came back up, maybe. Like, I never experienced anything like that before, y'all. Like, I never experienced where you have no phone service, where your phone just completely shuts down. Like, you couldn't order a lift, you couldn't send a text message, you couldn't send a phone call or nothing. Like, everybody's phones were like went haywire. And then in the evening of November 6th, everything was just blacked out. All hotels, I mean, you talking about pitch black? It was pitch black. If you didn't have a flashlight walking down the street, nobody would see you, because that's how dark it was. That's how dark it was. It was like everything was down. And so I was lucky enough to be able to put some of my stuff, or put my things in a friend's room or whatever. I guess it pays to work at a hotel, because then you get to know a lot of people. So when you see a lot of people in the surrounding areas, they're like, hey, you good, Shanda? You good, Shanda? You need help, Shanda? I'm like, yo, what is going on? What is going on? So I had a few people look out for me. So, and I appreciated that. But yeah, I wanted to do a tribute to my Aunt Leola Shorter for her birthday, but my phone went out. So happy belated birthday, Aunt Leola, in heaven, rest in peace. I wish I had some pictures or some type of memorabilia to do like a proper dedication to you. Nobody seems to want to send me your obituary. I don't know why. I feel bad that I couldn't make it home for your funeral. Obviously, I'm all the way on the other coast, but I don't know why. My mom won't send me the obituary. My cousins won't send me the obituary. I'm like, can I get my aunt's obituary? Why won't nobody send my aunt's obituary? So, you know what I'm saying? It don't make sense. But Yeah, it's kind of strange. But anyway, happy belated birthday to Mount Leola. May you rest in peace. But anyway, so November 6th, after I was able to put my stuff in a friend's room, we just took a bus because we had to like walk down for a minute or whatever. We took a bus and like they weren't charging anybody on the buses because they were like, well, it's a power outage, so it was like an emergency, so they weren't charging anybody. So we just like got on the bus and went to this Mexican bar and grill, you know, and I had like a child. I ordered a cafe con leche, right? I'm thinking I'm just getting some coffee with some cream. You know what I'm saying? They brought me this whole big glass with Kahlua and all. I said, wait a minute. I said cafe con leche. He said, yeah, mommy, the cafe con leche is a cocktail. I said, I didn't order a cocktail. I ordered some damn coffee and cream. But I drank it and got lit, y'all. I did. I got lit. Off of that one drink, I got lit. I had to drink 2 glasses of water with lemon just to bring myself down because I don't drink. So the slightest thing sets me a buzzing, you know. But anyway, so I had some a cocktail, and some good braised beef tacos, and because at the mall there was actual electricity, so at least we didn't have to be in the dark, the whole time or whatever. So we were able to be at the bar and grill, enjoying ourselves where there was power and food and stuff like that. So we did that November 6th. But then when it came time, I don't know. Why are you asking me relationship advice? So anyway, when it came time to find somewhere to stay, right? Because when it came time to find somewhere to stay, because clearly we couldn't go back to the motel where we were at because they evacuated everybody. I'm calling different places and they were like, oh, we're all booked up. I'm like, what? Call another place. Oh, we're all sold out. What? Call another place. Oh, we're all sold out. So every place around the hotel was saying that they were sold out. And I guess they were sold out because, this main place had to evacuate, which left a lot of people not having anywhere to go. So they had to go to the surrounding hotels or whatever. And I guess that filled up the hotels pretty fast, I guess, I'm assuming. I don't know. But it was crazy. Like all of the hotels were like sold out. And so I was like, what the hell are we going to do? Like, we can't stay at the bar and grill all night, right? So then we found this one spot that said it had availability, right? So booked the room, right? And then we proceed to go to the room. But then when we get there, it's pitch black, of course, right? Because all the power was out. And the front lobby of the old hotel was being lit up by a generator on the outside. It was really loud and stuff. Like it was a literal generator on the outside of the lobby, keeping lights on inside the lobby. Everything else was pitch black. You couldn't see room doors. You couldn't see nothing. Like I said, if you didn't have a flashlight on the street, baby, nobody was seeing you. Like that was like the perfect night to get murked. Okay, I'm just keeping it real. Like that was the perfect night. Like it reminded me of the Hunger Games. It reminded me of an apocalypse. It reminded me of something in a movie. That's what it reminded me of. And I was like, what the fuck is going on? So long story short, we made it to the place that said they had availability, right? We gets there. And the front desk person is like, oh no, we're sold out. I said, I'm sorry. We just booked online. He was like, I don't know why they keep allowing people to book. We don't have any rooms. I said, so you mean to tell me that we didn't came all the way here from the mall where there was power, food and everything to come all the way to this pitch blackness? And you telling me you ain't got no rooms? He said, I'm sorry, Miss Shanda. I said, are you fucking kidding me? So we were subjected to the streets in the pitch black. Luckily, there was another hotel across the way that was actually looked like it was lit up, right? Made our way over there. They sold out. I said, God damn. I said, what we gonna do? So we had to call a friend. Friend came and got us and had to end up sleeping in friend's car. Okay. But at least we were able to sleep in the friend's car. I said, this is crazy. It was like something straight out of a movie. Still didn't have no phone service. Phone still fucked up. Couldn't get on nothing. Because let me tell y'all, the way everything was, like how I said it was something like straight out of a movie, I wanted to go live so bad, y'all. I wanted to go live so bad because I wanted to show y'all everything that was happening. I'm like if y'all were seeing what I'm describing, because you know it's telling you never gives justice to what it really looked like. I wanted to go live so bad just to show y'all what was going on and what was happening, but I have no phone service. My phone just, what happened to my phone November 6th and half for the day on November 7th has never happened to my phone before, ever. I have never had an issue like that with my phone, where you couldn't order a Lyft, where you couldn't get into your Cash App, where you couldn't send a text message, where you couldn't pull up YouTube, where I couldn't do shit. I couldn't do nothing. Nothing at all. Okay? And I was sending out, before everything went down, I was sending out like white flag help flags to folks. Of course, you know, you don't get any, you know. So the surrounding area folks, like I said, the ones that know me around here, the ones that I built rapport with, the ones that, you know, I see basically every day, those are the ones that basically came to my aid. I wouldn't call, they're not strangers, clearly, but they're not family. You know what I mean, right? So, but they looked out for me. And so I appreciate that. And like I said, I guess it pays to work in a hotel where you meet a gazillion people, you know, but the good thing is you build good relationships with those people, right? Because if you don't, then, like, say if I was a complete asshole to everybody I came in contact with, and that power outage happened November 6th, what would I have done? Because anybody that I saw that came as a guest to where I work, they probably be like, fuck that bitch. You know what I'm saying? Oh, her. Oh, him. Fuck that bitch. Fuck the fuck for, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying, right? But you know, I built a lot of good relationships with a lot of the guests that come through, and a lot of those guests were where I was. You know what I mean? So when they saw me just kind of just looking around like, what the fuck? You know, they were like, Shanda, you good? You good? What's going on? You good? And I was like, I'm like 1, 2, 3, 4. I would say a good 4 or 5 people came to my aid. And I was like, damn, y'all. I was like, I appreciate y'all so much. Because it was like the Hunger Games out here. But anyway, before all of that happened, right? Because this all happened starting November 6th. The power outage started, right? November 6th, which obviously it started during the day, so it wasn't so bad because you got sunshine, right? Until it got dark at night. But right before the power outage happened, I had called the front desk because I was going to extend my stay. Clearly, right? A lot of people were extending their stay until we had to evacuate. So I was calling the front desk to extend my stay or whatever, and to see if I could. Right. And so before I even got to that point, the front desk personnel was like, yeah, so the police came here looking for you. And I said, excuse me? I said, I'm calling to extend my stay. What are you talking about? They said, yeah, the police came here looking for you. I said, what you mean the police came here looking for me? They said, yeah, the police came here looking for you on November 2nd. 2024. I said, I don't know what you're talking about. He said, the police came to the front desk, asked for your personal profile, said that you called them. I said, they said I called them. And he said, yeah, the police said that you called them because you were having an issue with your next door neighbor. So you called them to come because you was having a problem with your next door neighbor. So when they came, they asked for your personal profile at the front desk, and then they went on up in your room. I said, I'm sorry, I never called the police. I said, I don't even fuck with police like that. I mean, my dad is a former police officer, but you know what I'm saying. Ever since a lot of stuff had been going on with police and killings and stuff like that, I don't be fucking with police like that. You know what I'm saying? Because you just don't be known. You know what I'm saying? And I had a bad run-in with, I like to steer clear, okay? But yeah. So the front desk personnel at the motel told me that my personal space was invaded. And I was like, I'm not understanding why the police would lie and say that I called them when I didn't, and said that I have an issue with my neighbor. I said, that's a whole made up story. I said, they did that just to get in my room? I was like, and to get my profile? I'm like, why? What's going on? All that shit sounded real fishy, right? So I kind of got upset. Well, I did get upset. I got upset because I'm like, that's an invasion of privacy. Like, I was like, they not only lied and said I called them when I didn't, but then they used a whole story that was false and said that I had an issue with my neighbor, which I didn't. And then they come into my room. The motel that I work at, the way the policy goes is that police aren't supposed to enter your room if you're still assigned to it. You know what I mean? Like, basically you have to be fully checked out of the room. Like, if checkout is 11 a.m., when 11 a.m. comes, then they have a right to come to you, right? And even come in the room, right? Because it wouldn't be under your name anymore because you would have officially checked out. But if you are checked into that space and your name is assigned to the room and whatever, like, they legally cannot come in your room, and they don't legally have the right to make you come out of the room. This is what I was taught where I work at, right? So the fact that the room was under my name, and I still had it until 11 a.m., and they entered without asking or calling me, like, I just really think that's really strange. It almost sounded like a setup. So I don't even know what the fuck is going on. So I was just kind of questioning him. I'm like, can y'all let them in my room? And he was like, well, yeah, they came and asked for your profile, and and they said you called them and said you had a problem with the neighbor, and then they went in your room. And I was like, that's bullshit. I never called them. I was like, y'all shouldn't have let them in my room. I was like, first of all, I had already checked out. I said I checked out early in the morning. It was like, when I think I checked out like 6:40 something in the morning. I had to be to work for 7 a.m. So I was like, I checked out anyway, like super early. He said they came a little after 9 a.m. I was like, yeah, I was already gone. Like, all my shit and everything was already gone. But I still had the room until 11 a.m. Do you know what I'm saying? So legally and rightfully, they still weren't supposed to enter my room. They didn't even make contact with me. Nobody called me. Front desk has my phone number. If they took my personal profile information, why? That means they had my phone number. Why didn't they call me to say, hey, we're here. We heard that we know that you called us. I didn't call nobody. That was November 6th. I was told this by the front desk, that they entered my room November 2nd, a little after 9 a.m., but I had already checked out between 6:40 and 6:50 a.m. to be to work at 7 a.m. Ironically, November 2nd, after work, my own manager threatened to call the cops on me, right? Which I ended up calling the cops myself or whatever, and I actually recorded that incident live. So you would have to actually go back in the videos to view the title, my manager threatened me with the cops, whatever. So the same day. So number one, I didn't even know police entered my room November 2nd, early in the morning. And number two, my manager threatened to call the cops on me later on that evening. So I think it definitely is not a coincidence, and I definitely think there's something fishy going on. I don't know why any of that even transpired. I didn't do anything to anybody. I'm clearly mind my business, and I'm like, how come every time I mind my business, there's always some shit going on? Like, why do motherfuckers like to fuck with me? Why can't people just leave me alone? Seriously, why can't people just leave me alone? I don't understand. There's an agenda. There's a setup. Clearly there's higher ups behind it, because these motherfuckers got the authority to just do what they want to do. And it's just really, really strange to me. So it's like, I can't even have privacy in my own room. So if I leave my room, then I have to worry about somebody invading my privacy, my personal space. That doesn't even make sense, y'all. So between the blackout happening November 6th, or the power going off November 6th, and then the whole blackout early in the evening or whatever, and then November 7th, and then like in the afternoon, the power came back on, but my phone was still acting stupid. I still couldn't really do much on it until later on in that afternoon. And now, here I am today. I'm washing clothes right now, so I gotta go check my nose or whatever. But I just think that, I don't know, it's a lot of gang stalking, a lot of people watching, a lot of motherfuckers lurking in the corners, and like, what the fuck is going on? I swear to God, this is like a what you call it? Like, I feel like I'm living in a movie, y'all. Like, I feel like I'm living in a movie. I know Hollywood ain't too far from these parts, from this area. Does are we playing Hollywood everywhere? Why can't Hollywood just stay in Hollywood, where all the films and the directors, and why can't that shit stay in Hollywood? Why we got to bring that shit over here? Because this is a fucking movie. I'm in a movie. That's what I'm in a movie. I'm convinced I'm in a movie, and there are a lot of motherfucking players behind the scenes directing the shit. That's why I feel like I'm in the goddamn Hunger Games. Motherfuckers watching my moves, motherfuckers spying on me, lurking in the bushes, across the street by cars and shit, listening with earphones. What do you want with my life? What do you want? What do you want? That's all I want to know. What do you want? What do you want with my life? I'm minding my business. I always mind my business. I don't care about nobody else's business. I mind my motherfucking business. And the only time I speak up is when somebody is minding my motherfucking business. The only time I use my voice and speak out and say what the hell is going on is when somebody is fucking with me. Because I have a right to use my voice, and I have a right to speak up, and I have a right to say when something is not right. I have a right to say when somebody is doing something illegal to me. I have a right to say when somebody is emotionally abusing me, verbally abusing me, mentally abusing me. I have a right to talk about that shit. I have a right to say when I'm being mistreated. I have a right to talk about when I'm not being fairly treated. I have a right to say what the fuck is going on with me. And I'm not going to stay quiet about it. I'm always going to voice it, because in my eyes, that is the right thing to do. When you stay quiet, anybody can do anything to you, and nobody will ever know anything. Nobody will ever know anything that's going on. You have to speak up and say what the hell is going on, because if you don't, people will get away with a lot of shit. And I'm in the middle right now, in the midst of a lot of storms, baby. A lot of storms. Only because I choose to defend myself. But what am I supposed to do? Let people railroad all over me? Stop me in the ground? Get kicked down and don't get back up? What am I supposed to do? Come on now. No, I'm going to say what the fuck is going on. Because there's a lot of shit that's been going on that's not correct. There's no reason in hell that police are supposed to falsify stories on me and say that I called them when I didn't, just so that they can have access to my personal information at the front desk, just to invade my privacy by entering my room when they shouldn't have. And I'm only repeating this because this is what was told to me by the employee at the front desk. What the fuck is going on? What the fuck is going on? Then the 6th, complete blackout everywhere. Well, except for the mall, because I was at the mall, child, at the Mexican cocina, having me a cafe con leche and braised beef tacos. So, and then after that, looking for a hotel room half the damn night, but everything was sold out. So it's been quite adventurous, if I say so myself. The 6th, the 7th, and today has been quite adventurous too. Quite adventurous. I'm just happy that I am now, washing my clothes, and I don't know what else is going to transpire for the rest of the day. I definitely don't know what's going to transpire tomorrow. But now that I am up and running with power and everything is working with my phone, I hope it stays that way, Because like I said, what happened to my phone on the 6th never happened to my phone before, ever. And I have had this service with this specific provider since like 2006. The provider that I'm with on this phone, I've had service with them since 2006. I've been a faithful customer with this company since 2006, and I have never had the issue with my phone that I had on November 6th and November 7th. Never. Ever, 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 ever. So it was quite interesting to see that shit happen with my phone, where there was just nothing I could do. Nothing at all. Any of y'all know anything about that? Any of y'all in Southern California, were y'all affected by the Santa Ana winds and the fire and all that stuff? Because I mean, the fire was bad, over there. It really was. I mean, thank goodness there was nothing happening over here on these parts. You know what I'm saying? Like, nothing burned down over here. Nothing happened over here. But like those houses over there, I feel bad for those people whose houses just got completely burned down. It's really sad. It's really sad. It's sad. And a lot of people had to go to the hospital. I don't even know what started the fires, but I know a lot of people's houses got burned the hell down. So, but anyway. What is this? Speaking, ¿Puedes hablar en español, por favor? ¿Por qué? ¿Por qué? ¿No habla inglés? This isn't a Spanish channel. This isn't a Spanish channel. We speak English on this channel. ¿No habla inglés? Can you give me relationship advice? What? I mean, that's not what this channel is about, but everybody do got a story, right? My ex wants to come back into my life. What should I do? I mean, I don't know. Your ex want to come back. First of all, I mean, I'm not a relationship expert or anything like that, but you're saying your ex wants to come back into your life. Aren't exes for a reason? Aren't exes for a reason? Why are we going backwards? I mean, there are some people who can reconcile, right? There are some people who can get past certain things, right? And they can move on to calmer waters and forgive each other and all that shit, right? Especially if the fight wasn't, that bad or whatever. So if you can work it out, you can work it out. But at the end of the day, exes are exes for a reason. And why be with somebody and be miserable? Like if you broke up, it almost this lady was how does it go? She was married to this guy. It was her best friend. They met in like high school or something. They were friends. They became best friends. And then eventually they got married. Daughter for that. And they got married and they had a son. But they had been friends for a long time. They had history, right? And so they broke up a couple times. Like they were married, but they separated. And then when they separated for like 3 years, right? So when they separated for 3 years, they came back together to reconcile to see if they could work it out, right? But the woman went to her mom, because this is what the mom reported. The woman, and I think I talked about this on one of my videos titled Justin Bieber, a Hermit. I was talking about different things or whatever. But I was talking about this in particular. So the married woman went to her mom and was like, Mom, I'm really going to leave him this time. It's not working. Because see, the thing is the woman thought that once her and the guy, her husband, like separated for a little bit, she thought that they were going to individually grow, evolve. But anyway, so lady realized that she was really done after she got back with her husband, and she told her mom. I think eventually she told her husband, like, we need to break up for good. Like, this isn't going to work. he didn't approve of it because he wanted to get back together. And instead of allowing her to parent the kids and all that stuff, he killed her because he clearly didn't want her to get away and he didn't want anybody else to have her or something like that. He killed her. They got into an argument. He strangled her to death. So it sucks. It sucks, but that's why I say exes are exes for a reason, you know? If you can get back together and work it out, more power to you. Because I'm all for, especially like if you're like a married couple and you have kids or whatever, you know, and you kind of want to work it out for the kids. Does that answer your question? Was that helpful? Was that helpful? I hope it was. Because, child, I said exes are exes for a reason. And, you know what another thing is? I think people that choose to stay in relationships, right? Even if it's like toxic, and even when you know like you're not in love with each other anymore and stuff, but you kind of just stay because you have kids and you want the kids to see both the parents and stuff like that. I think when it comes to relationships like that, I think they do like open marriages where it's like, okay, so we know, we're not in love with each other like that anymore. And we know that, it's not like how it used to be, but, we'll just do it for the convenience of, the kids being around. But I think they have like open marriages or something where they're like, one person does their thing, the other person does their thing. And then, sometimes they may come back together and do their thing together. You know what I mean? Because they feel like, well, we married anyway, right? Why not? So, I mean, I think there are people that do stuff like that. But I also think there are people that stay married for like business purposes. Like if they have conjoined assets and things like that. Maybe they don't want to break it up, or I don't know. So maybe they stay married for that. And sometimes people stay married because sometimes a motherfucker be blackmailing them. If you leave me, I'm going to take all the money. If you leave me, I'm going to take the kids. If you leave me, I'm going to. Like, it'd be threats and shit, right? And then some people actually get scared over that. Some people actually do get scared about that. And they're just like, oh my God, if I leave, that person's going to take this and the person's going to do that and the person's going to, keep my kids from me and the person's going to da-da-da-da. And it can get nasty sometimes to that point. It can. But that doesn't mean that you did anything wrong, right? It just means that the other person got some fucking problems. Because how are you blackmailing somebody to stay with you? How are you trying to like emotionally and verbally abuse a person, mentally abuse a person to stay with you? It's kind of desperate, right? So, it is. You don't bully somebody to stay with you. If a person wants to be gone, you let them go. If you're bullying them to stay with you, what does that say about you? And then in some cases, they kill people. Oh, you want to leave me? Nobody else will have you. And then they kill you. Like, come on, dude. All of that? For what? For what? Life goes on. Life goes on. What are you doing? That's why I'll be confused about what the ex is doing. It's like, what are you doing? What is wrong with you? Like mentally, what is wrong with you? You have a problem. And if you don't think you don't have a problem, you hide somebody's biological kids. You have a problem. You have a problem. Because that's not normal to do stuff like that. That's not normal. You don't withhold somebody's biological kids because you're mad because the relationship is over. You don't do that. That's somebody that needs to seek some therapy to see what's going on the inside of them. Why is it that serious? Why is it that serious that you feel like you have to do something like that to establish some type of control? Or you think that'll get the person to come back to you. And then the person still doesn't come back to you. And then what? And then you seek to hurt them more? You're hurt. You're hurt. Very hurt. And you have to heal that shit. Because if you don't, you're going to live the rest of your life being that way, and you're gonna die like that too, hurt. And it don't make no sense. And in the long run, who are you hurting? The kids, yourself. You're hurting everybody. But I guess a person wouldn't look at it like that, because maybe a person would be like, well, good, I'm glad I'm hurting everybody because I'm hurt. Because normally when people are hurt, you know, they seek to blame somebody about, you know, for their hurt. You're the reason why I'm in this pain. So, you know, I want to make everybody suffer. That's no bueno. No bueno. You have to look what's inside you and understand what the hell is going on with you and get some help, because that shit ain't normal. It's just not normal. I don't care what nobody say. It's not normal. It's not normal. Oh, hold on, y'all. Let me put on. It's not normal. So I hope that was some good advice, relationship advice for you, Samara. Because, yeah, it's kind of crazy. But anyway, I'm going to get off this lot. Oh, my goodness. I can't believe. Hello. We have a new president. That should have been the first thing I opened up this video with. We have a new president. Yeah, we have a new president. Donald Trump is the 47th president. He is president for the second time. And J.D. Vance is our new vice president. And yeah, it's crazy. It's like, you know, the presidency happened. The very next day, blackout. She got fucked up. It's like, what the fuck's going on here? But yeah. So congratulations to our 47th president. It's a lot of people that's up in a roar over it. I've been seeing people online crying, carrying on, and blaming melanated men for Trump's win. It's your fault. You hate black women. You hate melanated women. You hate them. You hate women. You hate women. So this is women online just going on, saying that men hate women, and that's why Trump was voted in, which don't even make sense. And then she got on Hillary Clinton. You wouldn't even vote a white woman in. So of course you ain't gonna vote a black woman in because y'all don't like women. Who did? So Hillary did run against Trump, right? She sure did. And he won. When Hillary ran against Trump, I honestly think at that point in time, people probably wasn't comfortable with a woman running the country. What's interesting, though, is that her husband was president already. So you would think that people would have more confidence in Hillary Clinton because her husband was already president. But then again, he did get kicked out because of the whole Monica Lewinsky scandal thing. So maybe, I mean, I don't know. I mean, you know, I don't see what that has to do with politics and stuff. But anyway. Yeah, so, you know, she, you know, kind of like if Michelle Obama was to run for president, you know, most people would be like, oh, well, her husband was already president twice, you know, so, you know, but nobody looked at it like that. Nobody looked at Hillary and was like, oh, well, her husband was already president. It was kind of like, it was almost like they were just like, no, we don't think we need a female leader right now, or we don't think a female leader will do right now. You know what I mean? But in this case, I don't think that it's not that America isn't ready for a female president. Like I said, when Hillary ran, I think it was kind of along the lines of that. America wasn't ready for a female president. This time around, I don't think it was the fact that America wasn't ready for a female president. I just feel that people felt like she wasn't the right candidate to be president. You know what I mean? I've heard a lot of people say that if Michelle Obama was on the ticket with her, that they would have voted for her. More people would have voted for her. And, you know, like I said, I did a TikTok video about when Biden first decided to step down and let Kamala step up. I did a video on that, and I was like, oh shit, what if, you know, Michelle Obama becomes her VP? Oh, crap. And I actually got excited about it. I was like, well, I'll probably go ahead and vote, you know, or whatever. And then it was like a whole thing that started going around, and people were like, yeah, Michelle Obama was on the ticket. I'd vote for her. It would have been hands down. I would have voted for her. You know what I mean? I think that's how much people actually respect Michelle Obama, and they look at her like a leader. And I think she like is common sense. You know what I mean? And so I think people felt like there would have been a balance there. But I also knew, because I said it in my TikTok video, I said, I know that Kamala wouldn't pick another woman to run with her, because she would feel like America would be like, oh, that's too much feminine energy. You know what I mean? Which, on the flip side, people don't say that when it's two men, right? It's Trump and J.D. Vance. That's two men. On the flip side, people don't say, oh, that's too much masculine energy. Oh, it's two men. That's too much masculine energy. Nobody ever thinks about the balance, right, of feminine and masculine energy, right? Maybe Biden did because he picked Kamala, right? And but even Obama, his VP was a dude. It was Biden, right? Nobody ever combats when it's two men. Nobody ever says it's too much masculine energy, but females have to be careful, because, first of all, America hasn't had a female president yet, but to have two females on the ballot, that might be too much. They might lose their shit a little bit, like, that's too much feminine energy. But I honestly think that if Michelle Obama was on that ticket, I said it in my TikTok video, I feel more people would have voted for Kamala if Michelle was on that ticket. I'm sticking to it. That's what I said, and I'm sticking to it. And a lot of people started saying the same thing that I voiced out in that TikTok video. But anyway, like I said, I know Michelle Obama don't want to go back in that damn White House, child. She like her privacy and she like her freedom, and I don't blame her. So, yeah, like I said, this time around, I don't think it was the fact that America wasn't ready for a female president. I just think that they felt she wasn't the right candidate to be president. I think if it was probably another female that they felt was right for the job, I don't think America would have had a problem voting for a female. I don't think that would be a problem. But anyway, so it's going to be interesting to see who is going to be the first female president in America, if ever. You know what I mean? It'll be interesting. I know in Mexico, there is a new first female president. She's not even Mexican either, which is kind of interesting. I think she's Jewish. I mean, I guess, in America, we have different race presidents and stuff. But I always thought that the first female president in Mexico would have been Mexican. I did. I thought she would have been Mexican, but it's not. It's a Jewish lady. It's quite interesting. A lot of people, I ain't even going into Mexican politics. Let me stay out of it. Anyway, so I'm gonna get off. I'm gonna get off of here, and I might come back on later on. I'm gonna finish washing clothes and see what else this day bring y'all, because it has been interesting thus far. Yesterday was a little bit better. I mean, after you got past the fact of not having phone service and all that other craziness that was going on the 6th or whatever, I was able to take it down and wind down and be okay. But yeah, it was crazy. It was really, really crazy. So I guess we'll see what happens next. I'll holler at y'all later. Thanks for joining me, y'all.